Maggot. And I too want to commend Senator Ivana Bacik for introducing this important piece of legislation. We will, as my colleague has stated, be supporting this bill, and indeed we share the frustration of the Labour Party with government foot-dragging on the issue, because the gender pay gap is not a new issue. A multitude of research has been undertaken across the EU and here in Ireland on the subject. Your own department itself commissioned Indicon as far back as 2002 to undertake a study on male-female wage differentials across a number of sectors. Indeed, so accepted is the fact of the gender pay gap that the EU has an annual European Equal Pay Day to highlight the gap, which we all know now stands at just shy of 14%. So with all of this in mind, Minister, why on earth is your government frustrating the introduction of gender pay gap reporting in Ireland? And that is essentially what you are doing. When this legislation was first introduced 17 months ago, the Minister with responsibility for equality acknowledged that the bill echoed current programme for government commitments, but despite this count, the government has failed to engage, dragged their heels before finally proposing or producing its own heads of bill. That was over a year later. In justifying this decision, the Taoiseach told us last week that a new bill was necessary as changes were needed to the long and short titles. Now, that is simply not credible. And I want to put it to you, Minister, neither is your concern with the new Section 32A. Your concern seems to be that oversight and initiative is robbed of the Minister, and that it falls to the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commission. Can I tell you, I'm very happy to see a change such as that. I think we have waited so long, and the political establishment in your government has been so inert, in a state of splendid inertia on this issue. I am very happy for a commission with responsibility for human rights and equality to set the pace on this, because God knows if we're waiting for you, we will be waiting a very, very long time. And Irish women and Irish society is no longer prepared to wait. I want to finish on this note. It's not just about gender pay reporting. We have to be honest about this, and we have to look at low-paid sectors in our economy. We have to be honest about this, and we have to look at cost of living. We have to be honest and say that we need to do so much more, including the introduction of a living wage, including the introduction of rent caps. We need market interventions. But for today and for now, we support this legislation. And I would appeal to you, Minister Staunton, you're a reasonable person. And I'm not questioning your personal good faith on these matters. For God's sake, let's stop the delay. This is good legislation. If you want to argue for amendments, I think you're unnecessarily concerned. I have far more faith in the Commission charged with equality and human rights than I would have in many who have graced ministerial office, if I'm to be blunt. So support this legislation, allow it to move ahead, and give us, the women of Ireland, some Christmas cheer.